Imagine a hidden blueprint, not some secret society, but a set of principles that unlock the true American dream. A blueprint for those who don't just survive, but thrive. Principles that aren't taught in schools, aren't plastered on billboards, and are often overlooked by 99% of folks. Sounds like a Hollywood blockbuster, right? But what if I told you this isn't fiction? These secrets are real, and they're within reach of every American who's ready to listen. Hey, America, I'm your game changer, and today we're taking a deep dive behind the curtain of true wealth and lasting success. I used to be just like many of you, wondering why some people hit it big while others, with just as much potential, seem stuck. I devoured books, watched countless interviews trying to crack the code. And then it hit me like a lightning bolt. I started seeing patterns, undeniable habits, and a unique mindset shared by those we call millionaires. And trust me, it's not about luck or magic. It's about concrete, actionable steps they take differently. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on 7 such secrets. Secrets that millionaires don't necessarily broadcast because they're so simple, so fundamental that most people just refuse to believe them. They seem too easy, too obvious. But it's in that very simplicity that their incredible power lies. If you're ready to challenge your old beliefs and unlock a new reality for yourself, then stick with me. Because what you're about to hear could forever change your perspective on money, success, and your own American journey. That's right, folks, mindset. Now you might be thinking, mindset again. That's old news, but here's the first trap that 99% of people fall into. They hear about mindset, but they don't truly grasp its profound depth. For most, mindset is just a collection of thoughts. For millionaires, it's the operating system that runs their entire American life. What's the difference? The average American often thinks in short-term bursts. How do I make it to the next paycheck? What's for dinner tonight? How do I fix this problem right now? Millionaires, however, think strategically, years ahead. They ask themselves, what do I want my life to look like in 5, 10, 20 years? What skills do I need to develop to achieve that vision? How can I build a system that works for me, even when I'm sleeping? That's the spirit of American ingenuity at its finest. Take, for instance, their approach to risk. For most, risk is a terrifying monster to be avoided at all costs. For millionaires, risk is an inherent part of growth, a cornerstone of the American entrepreneurial spirit. They're not reckless, no. They know how to manage risk, calculate it, and most importantly, they see it not as a threat, but as an opportunity. An opportunity that 99% of people simply miss because their mindset is wired for loss aversion, not for seeking out the next big win. I remember when I was scared to take chances. Every new idea felt too bold, too out of reach. But as I studied the biographies of successful Americans, I realized they weren't afraid to fail. They saw failures as lessons, as stepping stones on the path to greatness. And that changed my entire perspective on my own setbacks. I stopped fearing them and started extracting every ounce of value from them. That's the grit and resilience that built this nation. And here's another crucial aspect of the millionaire mindset. They believe in themselves and their ability to succeed. It's not blind arrogance, but a deep-seated conviction that they can achieve their goals. They don't wait for permission or validation from others. They take ownership of their lives, their destinies. And that, my friends, is what truly sets them apart from the majority who constantly seek external validation and fear stepping outside the familiar. If mindset is the operating system, then habits are the powerful applications running on it. You can have the most advanced operating system in the world, but without the right programs, it's just potential. Millionaires understand this better than anyone. Their success isn't some lucky break. It's the direct result of consistent, daily actions that compound over time, leading to monumental achievements. It's the American work ethic in action. Let's be honest, most people live on autopilot. They wake up, check social media, catch the news, go to work, do what they're told, come home, watch TV, and hit the hay, day in and day out. Millionaires, however, build their lives around purpose-driven habits. They rise early to exercise or read. They dedicate time to learning and self-improvement. They plan their day rather than letting the day plan them. That's the kind of self-reliance and initiative that built this nation. Did you know that 88% of self-made millionaires read at least 30 minutes a day? And we're not talking about fiction. We're talking about books on personal development, business strategy, and biographies of great leaders. They're constantly absorbing new information, expanding their horizons. What are most people doing? Binge-watching shows and scrolling through feeds. The difference is stark, isn't it? Here's another compelling fact. 76% of millionaires exercise regularly. It's not just about physical health. It's about discipline, setting goals and achieving them, and cultivating the energy needed for big endeavors. It's about being fit for the fight, ready to tackle any challenge. When I first started on this path, adopting new habits felt like climbing Mount Everest. My mind resisted, my body dragged. But I learned one crucial lesson: you don't have to change everything overnight. Start small. 10 minutes of reading a day, 15 minutes of exercise, cutting out one bad habit, and gradually, step by step, you'll see your life transform. It's like building a skyscraper brick by brick. Each small effort contributes to something magnificent. That's the power of consistent effort, a true American virtue. Habits aren't chains, they're the keys to freedom. Freedom from chaos, freedom from randomness, freedom from being at the mercy of external circumstances. They are your personal bedrock, the foundation upon which you build your empire, your legacy. And the stronger that foundation, the higher you can reach for the stars, embodying the very essence of the American dream. We've already touched on how millionaires are avid readers, but reading is just one piece of the grand puzzle called continuous self-improvement. For them, learning isn't a chore, it's a way of life. They understand that the world is changing at an incredible pace, and if you're not growing, you're falling behind. And this, my friends, is one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked, secrets. Successful Americans never stop learning. The average person graduates from high school or college and thinks their education is complete. A millionaire, however, sees that as a starting line. They are constantly seeking new knowledge, new skills, new ways to refine themselves and their ventures. They invest in themselves in courses, workshops, coaching. For them, these aren't expenses, they're the most profitable investments, paying dividends throughout their entire lives. It's the spirit of American innovation, always striving for what's next. Take, for instance, Bill Gates. One of the wealthiest individuals on the planet, he still reads around 50 books a year. Warren Buffett, another financial titan, dedicates up to 80% of his workday to reading and thinking. This isn't just a habit, it's a deliberate strategy. They understand that knowledge is the new currency, and the more of it you possess, the more opportunities open up before you. It's about intellectual capital, a true American asset. I remember thinking I knew it all. That was my biggest mistake. The moment I realized that the more I learned, the more I understood how little I truly knew, my world expanded. I actively sought out mentors, individuals who had already walked the path I was about to embark on. Their wisdom, their guidance, it's an invaluable resource that saved me years of trial and error. Don't be afraid to admit what you don't know. Be afraid of remaining in ignorance. That's not the American way. And here's another vital point. Millionaires don't just consume information, they apply it. They don't collect knowledge for knowledge's sake. They seek out what will help them solve specific problems, achieve concrete goals. They're constantly experimenting, testing new ideas, adapting to changing circumstances. It's an active process, a relentless pursuit of progress, not passive consumption. That's the true spirit of American ingenuity and drive. For most Americans, money is a means to an end. They earn it to pay bills, buy groceries, keep a roof over their heads, and by the end of the month, often there's nothing left. Millionaires, however, view money entirely differently. For them, money is a tool. A powerful instrument that should work for them, not the other way around. And this, perhaps, is one of the biggest secrets that separates the wealthy from the rest. The rich make their money work, while the rest work for their money. It's about financial freedom, a core tenet of the American dream. This doesn't mean millionaires don't work hard. They work incredibly hard, but they don't spend everything they earn. They invest. They create assets that generate passive income. This could be real estate, stocks, bonds, or their own businesses. The key is that their money isn't sitting idle, it's constantly in motion, generating more wealth. It's about building a financial engine that keeps running, even when you're not actively working. Did you know that many millionaires live by the principle of pay yourself first? This means that as soon as they receive income, a certain percentage of it, often 10 to 20% or more, is saved or invested before anything else is spent. It's not what's left over after all the expenses, it's a priority. This habit over time builds immense capital. Another common habit is budgeting. Yes, even millionaires budget. They know exactly where their money is going and they control their spending. It's not about being cheap. It's about conscious resource management, a smart approach to building a secure future. I used to think investing was complicated only for Wall Street gurus. But as I started to learn, I realized it's not. You can start small. The most important thing is to start, and crucially avoid consumer debt. Debt is a form of slavery. It robs you of your freedom and your future earnings. Millionaires use debt only to leverage capital for growth, not to buy the latest gadget they can't afford. It's about smart financial decisions, not instant gratification. Remember, your goal isn't just to earn money. It's to make your money work for you. Build a system that generates income even while you sleep. That's true financial freedom, the kind millionaires pursue. And it's not as hard as it seems once you shift your perspective on money and embrace the principles of sound financial stewardship. Have you ever heard the saying, "Show me your friends and I'll show you your future"? In the world of millionaires, this phrase takes on a whole new meaning. For them, networking isn't just pleasant small talk. It's a strategically vital component of success. They understand that the most valuable assets aren't just dollars and cents, but people. People who can help, support, advise, and open doors to new opportunities. It's the American spirit of community and collaboration in action. The average person tends to stick to their familiar circle, family, old friends, colleagues. Millionaires, however, are constantly expanding their network. They actively seek out individuals who are smarter, more experienced, and more successful than themselves. They're not afraid to ask questions, seek advice, or offer help. They understand that every new connection is a potential gateway to new knowledge, new projects, and new possibilities. It's about building a robust support system, a true American team. Look at any successful American entrepreneur. Behind every one of them is a team, a network of partners, mentors, and investors. Think of figures like Andrew Carnegie, who built his steel empire not just through hard work, but by surrounding himself with brilliant minds. Or Oprah Winfrey, whose media empire is a testament to the power of building genuine connections and empowering others. These individuals understood that no man is an island. Your connections can open doors that would otherwise remain closed, provide insights you couldn't find anywhere else, and offer support when you need it most. It's often said that your net worth is directly tied to your network. Think about that for a moment. I used to be a bit of an introvert, shying away from large gatherings. I thought networking was artificial, insincere. But then I realized that's not what it's about. True networking isn't about what you can take, it's about what you can give. When you genuinely show interest in people, offer your help, and share your knowledge, you build authentic, strong relationships. And these relationships, over time, yield incredible dividends. I've seen it firsthand in my own journey. It's about building a community, not just a contact list. Remember, you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you want to become a millionaire, surround yourself with individuals who have already achieved what you aspire to, or who are actively pursuing those goals. Learn from them, be inspired by them, and you'll see your life begin to transform. It's the power of association, a fundamental American principle of rising together. The journey of any individual, especially an entrepreneur or someone striving for success, is filled with problems. For most people, a problem is a brick wall, an insurmountable obstacle, a reason to throw in the towel. For millionaires, a problem is a challenge, a puzzle to be solved, and most importantly, an opportunity. An opportunity to grow stronger, smarter, to find new paths, and ultimately to create more value and wealth. It's the very essence of American innovation, turning obstacles into stepping stones. What's the difference? The average person, when faced with a problem, looks for someone to blame, complains, or makes excuses. A millionaire, however, asks themselves, how can I solve this? What can I learn from this situation? How can this problem become my advantage? They don't shy away from difficulties, they embrace them because they know. The tougher the problem, the greater the potential reward for solving it. That's the pioneer spirit, the drive to conquer the frontier, whether it's a physical landscape or a business challenge. Think of Henry Ford. When he started, he had no money, no resources. He faced countless problems, but he saw each one as an opportunity for innovation, leading to the assembly line and affordable cars for the masses. Or Walt Disney, who faced bankruptcy multiple times before building an entertainment empire. For most, that would be the end. For Disney, it was fuel for his relentless creativity and determination. These individuals didn't avoid problems, they sought them out and solved them. And that's what made them legends, true American icons. I remember facing a massive problem in one of my own projects. Everything seemed to be going wrong. I was on the verge of despair, but then I remembered the words of one of my mentors: "A problem is just a task for which you haven't found a solution yet." I stopped panicking, broke the problem down into smaller pieces, started researching, consulting with experts. And in the end, I not only solved it, but found a completely new approach that brought me far more than I expected. It was an invaluable lesson, a true testament to the power of American grit. Millionaires understand that every problem is an opportunity in disguise. It's a chance to learn something new, develop new skills, and find unconventional solutions. They're not afraid to make mistakes because they know that mistakes are part of the learning process. The key is not to repeat the same mistakes and always keep moving forward. That's the spirit of constant improvement, a hallmark of American progress. We've talked about mindset, habits, learning, money, connections, and problem solving. All of these are crucial components of success. But there's one element without which everything else simply falls flat. That's action. And not just any action, but persistent action. Millionaires understand that knowledge without application is just information. Ideas without execution are just dreams. Success comes to those who don't just think and plan, but who do. The average person often gets stuck in analysis paralysis. They endlessly research, plan, doubt, and ultimately never start anything. Or they start, but at the first sign of difficulty, they throw in the towel. Millionaires, however, are people of action. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They start with what they have and they adjust their course as they go. They understand that mistakes are part of the process, and that without action, there will be no results, good or bad. This is the pioneering spirit, the willingness to forge ahead no matter what. Think of Thomas Edison, who famously conducted thousands of experiments before inventing the light bulb. Or Colonel Sanders, who didn't find success with KFC until his 60s after countless rejections. These individuals didn't give up. They believed in their vision and kept taking action despite setbacks, failures, and criticism. Their persistence isn't stubbornness, it's a deep belief in their purpose and a willingness to go the distance. That's the American grit that built empires. I've faced the urge to quit more times than I can count. There were moments when it felt like all my efforts were in vain, that nothing would ever work out. But it was in those moments that I remembered the stories of those who overcame far greater hardships and never gave up. And that gave me the strength to keep pushing forward. Remember, the biggest enemy of success isn't failure, it's inaction. And it's giving up on your dream too soon. That's simply not the American way. Persistence isn't about banging your head against a wall. It's about finding new ways, new solutions when the old ones don't work. It's about flexibility, adaptation, learning from your mistakes, and continuing to move forward no matter what. It's what separates the winners from those who gave up halfway. It's the unyielding American drive to achieve greatness. So, my friends, we've unveiled the 7 secrets of millionaires. And as it turns out, they're not really secrets at all, but rather the fundamental principles that have always driven the American spirit. It's not magic, it's not luck, and it's certainly not about being born into wealth. It's about conscious choice, daily dedication, and a relentless commitment to your own growth. We've talked about, first, mindset, the unshakable foundation upon which all American success is built. Second, habits, the disciplined programs that drive your daily progress and shape your destiny. Third, learning and growth, the continuous pursuit of knowledge that fuels innovation and keeps you ahead. Fourth, money management, the powerful tool that makes your dollars work for you, securing your financial freedom. Fifth, networking and relationships, the strength of community and connections that open doors and build bridges. Sixth, problem solving, the ingenious American art of turning challenges into triumphs. Seventh, action and persistence, the unwavering drive that transforms dreams into reality, the true hallmark of American grit. These principles are straightforward, but applying them demands discipline, courage, and an unwavering belief in yourself, the very qualities that define the American character. Millionaires aren't hiding these from us. Sometimes we ourselves are unwilling to see them because they demand that we step out of our comfort zones, that we challenge our old ways of thinking. But trust me, fellow Americans, it is absolutely worth it. Your life is your masterpiece, and only you get to decide what that masterpiece will become. If this video resonated with you, if it ignited a spark of inspiration and a desire for change within your American heart, then please hit that like button. Let me know that this message truly landed. Share in the comments below which of these 7 secrets struck you the most, or which one are you ready to implement in your life starting today. I'm genuinely eager to hear your thoughts. And of course, subscribe to the channel to join our community and ensure you don't miss out on future videos that will empower you to become the best version of yourself, living out your fullest American potential. Remember, the journey to success begins with a single step. Take yours today, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless America and God bless your journey to greatness.